After the 10th plague, which was the death of the Egyptian firstborn, Pharaoh allowed the Israelites to go. Freedom was theirs, but danger loomed. The Israelites stood at the edge of the Red Sea, with Pharaoh's army closing in. This is the second quarter of Exodus, a story of divine power, human doubt, and the journey to Mount Sinai. Let's dive in. Trapped between the sea and the enemy, the Israelites cried out in fear. But God had a plan. Moses raised his staff, and the Red Sea parted, revealing a path of dry ground. The Israelites crossed safely, but when Pharaoh's army pursued, the waters returned, swallowing them whole. This was no ordinary escape, it was a divine declaration of freedom. The Red Sea miracle marked the end of Egyptian oppression and the beginning of a new journey. With Pharaoh's army defeated, the Israelites erupted in praise. The Song of Moses, a hymn of victory and gratitude, echoed across the wilderness. Miriam, the prophetess, led the women in dance, celebrating God's triumph. But their joy was short-lived. The wilderness ahead would test their faith like never before. The wilderness was harsh and unforgiving. Hunger gnawed at them, and thirst parched their throats. The Israelites grumbled against Moses, longing for the comfort of Egypt. But God heard their cries. Each morning, God provided manna, bread from heaven. Each evening, quail filled their camp. And when they thirsted, water flowed from a rock at Rephidim. Yet, despite these miracles, their faith wavered. These trials were not just about survival, they were about trust. Would the Israelites learn to rely on God, even in the wilderness? Then came the Amalekites, a fierce enemy determined to destroy God's people. As Moses raised his hands in prayer, the tide of battle turned. But when his arms grew weary, Aaron and Hur held them up, ensuring victory. This battle was a lesson in perseverance and unity. Victory came not by human strength alone, but through faith and reliance on God. Leadership is a heavy burden. Moses, overwhelmed by the demands of millions, received wise counsel from his father-in-law, Jethro. Delegate, Jethro advised. And so, Moses appointed judges to share the load. This was a lesson in humility and wisdom, a reminder that even the greatest leaders need support. 3 months after leaving Egypt, the Israelites arrived at Mount Sinai. God called Moses to the mountain, declaring, "You will be my treasured possession if you obey my voice." The stage was set for a divine encounter. The second quarter of Exodus ends here, on the brink of revelation. What awaits at Sinai? The answer lies in the next chapter of this epic journey. The second quarter of Exodus is a story of miracles, trials, and faith. It reminds us that even in the wilderness, God provides. Even in battle, God fights for us. And even in our doubts, God calls us to trust Him. Join us next time as we ascend Mount Sinai and uncover the 10 Commandments. Until then, remember, the journey continues.